A very good morning, Mark. Here, Wednesday, May the 27th, going on 8 a.m. Eastern, going on noon GMT. Let's have a look how the markets shape up today. Starting US dollar index on the front foot to start, following up from yesterday's small green candlestick, seeing a bit of a follow through today. Higher lows as well. I've got support 98.94 and I've got resistance 99.12. That 99 certainly looking pivotal for now. Buyers will look to maintain above the 99, test the resistance and see if there is demand for US dollars through the US session, a test break higher than this resistance level and move up through the US session. If you get a turnaround from the strong to weak US dollar, sellers will look to bounce down off this resistance area, looking down at the 98.94 support level, but certainly on the front foot to start the US dollar this morning. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 futures market for now. Good hour and a half till Wall Street opens up. And there you see the tight range over the past few days. I've got support at 7,533. I've got resistance at that record high level of 7,565. Buyers will look to break this record high and move higher if we do see continued demand for US equities, which we certainly have seen since the beginning of April. Or if sellers do step in, some profit taking, perhaps overbought technicals, and if sellers look to bounce down off this area and look down at the 7,533 support level. Gold, strong sell-off in gold today, following up from yesterday. Yesterday you formed that double top, strong bearish sign, certainly playing out today. Downtrend in place. I've got resistance at 4,528 and support at 4,429. Sellers broke below that 4,500 level, psychological level, so I think that's important. We'll see how much further this can move if sellers continue and add to the losses that we've already seen, going hand in hand, weak gold with US dollar, which is what we're seeing going into the US session, the inverse relationship, strong US, weak gold. We'll see if that continues, or if we see a turnaround, buyers step in and look to get back above that 4,500 and look back up at that resistance level. Brent oil. Brent oil still in optimistic territory for sure, on the hope or optimism that a deal will be reached with the US and Iran. So far, the move lower, that's the forward-looking oil market based on an optimistic that a deal will be done. At this point, a deal hasn't been reached. Iran has not agreed to the US proposal. The Straits of Hormuz are still, for all practical purposes, closed. So we'll see how this does play out, but hang around this 92, 94 area for now. I've got resistance at 96.54. I've got support at 92.75. Looks like an area where the optimistic or optimism, well, as long as optimism prevails, this looks like the area where Brent is happy to sit for now. If we get a turnaround from optimism to pessimism, for whatever reason that might be, then buyers will look to break above this resistance and to get back above that 100 level. Bitcoin. Bitcoin started off selling. This was a solid red candlestick. You can see support at 75,100. I've got resistance at 75,952, narrow $1,000 range. At first attempt, sellers weren't able to break below this 75,000. Buyers did step in. Looks like they're having another test perhaps of this support level and then to push lower. If buyers do step in, or if we see demand for Bitcoin, buyers will look to test this 76,000 resistance area and look all the way back up at the 78,000. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see buyers did look to test this 76,000 unsuccessfully, and now it looks like sellers may be looking back down at that support level. But Bitcoin, certainly overall a downtrend, EMAs to the downside, and looks like sellers may be in control for now. Good trading, keep that discipline. I'll see you at the end of day.